Hi everyone, it's Dakshita Kumar from Range International Property Investments, and today we have a very special guest, a renowned entrepreneur and mentor with unmatched ability to inspire and lead, Mr. Peter Virdee.
Thank you.
How are you today?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
We've been wanting to have you over for over 2 months right now.
Well, you've done well to get me here in 2 months, and thank you and Range for having me and taking the time.
Thank you so much. So, what does a day in a life look like for you?
So Dubai, getting up at around 5 o'clock in the morning,
Okay.
subject to what time I'm going to sleep.
Yeah.
But normal is 5 o'clock. Doing some meditation, speaking, making some calls, and then going for my workout. If I'm not working out, then I'll do some stretching, and then I'll start my daily routine. If I'm in London,
Yeah.
I will slightly change it and tweak it because then I spend time with my family in the morning. So I
Yeah.
take some time out with the family.
You've seen the best of global real estate all over the world, right? Why do you think people should invest here? You know, considering that they could do it in very much their own country. And, nowadays you see a lot of Europeans and a lot of people from UK that are moving here. What do you think is the reason that this is happening? And what makes Dubai so different from the countries that they come from?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer your question in two parts. I'm gonna
Yes,
bring the spirituality into this,
sure.
and then the commercial aspect.
Yeah.
So, what I think today, the West is going through a real downturn. They are paying its karmic debt for all the sins and whatever they've done over hundreds and hundreds of years. Today, they're paying their karmic debt, and nothing seems to be going right for them.
Absolutely.
Your security element in the United Kingdom or in Europe is atrocious. You cannot walk around. Before, you couldn't walk around with high value jewelry. Today, you can't walk around with a decent coat. You will get mugged. This is in central London.
Yeah.
The taxes are going out the roof. The government is totally displaced. So when people who want security and comfort, they're not getting this, and they're paying taxes, and the taxes are levied such at a high rate, it becomes a problem. And so they look for different opportunities. And the best opportunity you can see today is Dubai. The security element in Dubai is phenomenal. The safety for women, for children, putting aside all your materialistic goods, but just your personal safety aspect is great.
I mean, look at you. You're wearing a Richard Mill today. And I don't think you're scared at all. I don't think I would see you. I mean, I've seen you wear that in London, to be honest, but I feel like you feel more safe here, right? You don't really need to
I,
walk
f-
around with security as such.
I feel so safe here.
Yeah.
I can even take my watch off or my jewelry.
Yeah.
I mean, look, these are high value items.
So you've also mentored a lot of people, right? Say, for instance, if you had to write a book on mentorship, what would be the first page that would actually tell people what they should or should not do? What would that consist of?
I mean, you can write it in one line. I mean, it doesn't need a page.
Yeah.
There's no secret recipe to success. Always people want to know the secret recipe to success. There's no secret recipe to success.
Okay.
It's really, there's different aspects to it, but there's not one recipe or one size fits all. So your mentee's journey to his success is
Yeah.
down to his ability and his discipline. And it always boils down to that. Me mentoring somebody and teaching them something or educating them on something that I have done in my life will give them an indication, will give them a guideline, but it ain't going to shape what they want to do. That's really down to the person when they're delivering their own business plan.
I actually think about this a lot where, there could be a person, anyone, for instance, a man or a woman with the same opportunities and the same ambitions as yourself, right? And I always think about it. Maybe they have the same opportunities, the same ambitions, the same desires, but they're not able to fulfill and be as successful as yourself. Having the same opportunities, having the same ambitions, and why do you think, that happens? What is the reason?
So there's several reasons you can look at this
Yeah,
thing. You can look at, say, your siblings.
yeah,
So there's a saying in Hindi
yeah,
that माँ जन्म दे सकती है, कर्म नहीं दे सकती.
absolutely.
So your mother can give you birth,
Yeah,
but cannot dictate your destiny.
absolutely. Yeah.
So your destiny is your destiny.
So you think this is something to do with karma, or what is it to do with?
We all have our own destiny. We
Yeah.
all have our own karma to play. We have our forefathers' karmas which we deal with, but
Yeah.
we have our karmas which we follow through.
Yeah.
This plays a part on your mindset. So if you're of the mindset, you're of the mindset of Murphy's law.
Yeah.
Okay, anything that's going to go wrong is going to go wrong to me. मेरे साथ क्यों होता है? Why does
Snowball
it happen?
effect. Snowball effect.
Why does it happen to me?
Yeah.
So your mindset is straight. You're setting off on the wrong mindset. So there's people who wait for the reaction,
Yeah.
and there's people who create the action.
Yeah.
So it's your choice which one you want to be.
They also say in Hindi, there's a very famous saying, किसी को मुकम्मल जहां नहीं मिलता, कभी ज़मीं कभी आसमान नहीं मिलता. I would say मुझे ज़मीं मिली है, मुझे आसमान मिला है, मुझे दोस्त बनाने आते हैं. But then what happens is, and actually a few days ago I was having this conversation with you where you told me that you have to read this book called Letting Go, for example, right? And comes back to the whole mentorship, because I really consider you as a mentor personally, and I guess I'm one of your mentees, very devoted ones, where you told me that you should read this book called Letting Go. And a lot of things in life, if you've seen, like, it's always your friends that are long term with you, right? Like a very recent example of a friend, for example, who I've known for almost a decade, right? And they tend to snake on you for some reason, or they tend to show you their true colors after so many years. Why do you think that happens? Because if you've maintained that friendship with people, right, for so many years, why do you think that they suddenly turn on you after so many years?
Okay, they don't suddenly turn on you. Nothing suddenly happens. See, this is when I'm going to come on to the Murphy's law.
Yeah.
When people adopt this attitude and they wait for a reaction.
Yeah.
Nothing suddenly happens. She suddenly left me.
Yeah.
He suddenly started having an affair.
Yeah.
It suddenly broke. You don't wake up one morning and find suddenly a palm tree in your front garden.
Okay.
The seed has to be buried. It's always there and it has to be buried. So if you want a rose in your garden, you have to plant that seed. And then you have to water it. Mm-hmm. And at some point it's going to pop.
Absolutely.
So the snake is always within that person. वो कभी change नहीं हो सकता.
Huh.
It's always there, or is only waiting to sting you. So it's not a matter of...
you mean the person just reveals themselves, or you've seen that person reveal themselves?
It's in the DNA. It's in their DNA. Coming back to your, when people behave like this, suddenly nahi hota. That jealousy, that betrayal is always...
Betrayal, actually.
Is in them. It's always in them. It just takes time. When they're going to put that button on.
The Sikh Seva community, that's a very inspiring thing. And everyone, I feel so proud sometimes to know you personally, because everywhere I walk through, and then people who know you are like, oh my God, you know Peter Virdee, and he's so inspiring because he does so much for the community. Can you tell me a little more on that? And, what made you go through it? Because the way I look at it is, because you've been so successful, and I look at it as that's something that you want to give back to the people, give back to the community. And I wish everyone was like you, but there are a lot of Sikhs all over the world, but no one's as inspiring and as giving as you, from what I've seen. I mean, it's hypothesis, but from the way I see it.
Okay. So there's two schools of thoughts to this. There's people out there who give far more than I do. Far more. They do far more than I do.
Okay.
They take the path of doing it very quietly and humbly and not discussing it.
Yeah.
For some odd reason, I have been pushed through social media, and the media portrays and people talk about what I do a lot because it has an impact.
Yeah.
So I chose to take this route because it encourages other people to participate.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Because that's an inspiration. You're influencing other people with your followers and the others who are looking at it to do more for the community.
So it's sometimes you have to showcase your work to inspire others, and so other people can join that journey with you or create their own path and continue doing that. Some people like to do it very quietly, where they don't want the left hand to know what the right hand is doing, which is also perfectly right. There's no right or wrong in this.
Yeah.
But I have taken the decision to exhibit what I do, so I can encourage the younger generation to say, you must participate in seva.
So if Sikhism, had to be featured in a Netflix show, for example, what part of your life do you think would you want to feature in that series that you want to show the world? Because social media is okay. There's only so much reach in terms of your followers. But say if it was...
I would say in my life, the part I would really like to show is how not to be a Sikh.
Why is that?
Because, people portray people as, he's a perfect Sikh, or he's this. There's things that, I do which doesn't comply with Sikhism.
Yeah.
Or with certain principles of Sikhism.
Yeah.
And there's some things I do really well that do. So I'm working on that effort. So that's a journey for me to correct myself. Like, I'm not a baptized Sikh.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Ratni Shaka. But I'm working towards that. At some point, I want to do that. But for me to do that, I have to make a massive lifestyle shift and change.
Yeah.
Because when I do it, I want to do it properly.
I remember a while ago, actually it was a few months ago, and we were talking when I was asking you, I was taking some advice from you, I don't remember what it was. And you were talking about valuing yourself, right? And I remember you also said that you cannot be everywhere at every time. You have to give that self-importance and self-value to yourself. Can you, I would want people to know about this, where you said that, when you're in a meeting with someone, for example, you cannot spend more time or overstay your welcome. Along those lines, you had said something. So
what happens in life? You have to ask. You ask yourself, what am I doing here? What's my purpose here?
Yeah.
So what am I doing in this meeting? So I look at life very, very differently now. I'm 51 years of age.
Wow.
God might bless me, if I'm very lucky, another 25 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 30, maybe 40. Whatever he blesses with me with, I will accept.
Yeah.
But it's still less than what I've lived. So I want to spend that time very cautiously and very valuably. So I want to spend it around people I want to be around. I don't want to have excessive people around me for no reason. So I want to have an impact on somebody who I speak to. So even when I'm having a business meeting, the first thing, if somebody wants to meet me, I say, please tell me what you'd like to meet about.
Yeah.
So we don't have a meeting about a meeting. So it's valuing my time.
Yeah.
People might say it sounds very selfish.
Yeah.
It's about you. But actually it is about me, because you must learn to love yourself first before you can love somebody else.
Yeah.
You have to protect yourself. It's no different to when you're boarding a flight and they're giving you the safety instructions. And they say, God forbid, if there's a situation, you must put your mask on first and put your jacket, life jacket on first before you help the person
Absolutely.
next. So,
Yeah.
so when you imply these principles in life, the only commodity you have today is your time. And if you don't trade that wisely, after 8-9 hours of your day, when you go home, or 10 hours later, you have to ask yourself, what have I achieved today?
Yeah.
Maine kya kiya aaj? Have I sold a property? Have I had an impact on somebody's life? Have I done something? Or have I just wasted my time being around negative people who are sucking my energy from me and having no impact on my life, and I'm having no purpose in my daily routine to have an impact on somebody else's life?
Do you feel that fame is a byproduct of your job? I mean, obviously, I understand that fame is not your job, not any celebrity's job, also, for instance. Fame is a byproduct of what you do. So, for example, if there is an artist, right, if it's a actor or a musician, fame comes as a byproduct. Fame is not something that it's not their job. So, similarly, do you feel that fame comes as a byproduct with what you're doing?
I think fame is a curse.
Why is that?
It's a curse.
I would say a blessing and a curse.
It's not a blessing. You're a slave to your audience. You're dancing to their tune. You have to be something what they want to see. So your talent is one thing.
Yes.
There's people who are very famous, but they're talentless. They have no talent.
Can
And
we
they
have
never-
an example of that?
They never get recognized. There's many. You'll see people. You'll see people, street vendors, who can sing and do things, and they'll never get recognized. But then you have people like myself who have no talent, and they are.
I think you're one of the greatest entrepreneurs.
Yeah, but ultra. There's a difference. Fame. I'm talking about.
Yeah,
Fame. You're a slave to the people. It's a curse. It's like on Instagram.
Yeah.
I sometimes wish I didn't come on social media.
I feel the same. I think about that every day.
I
of
wish
my
I didn't
life.
come on social media.
I wish I didn't too.
And now that I'm on social media, I have to feed this beast. We go to a restaurant, we feed our phone before we feed ourselves.
That's true.
Why?
Yeah.
Because we're a slave to this. We have to put the story out there first.
Yeah.
There was a time you'd see somebody fighting.
Yeah.
You'd stop and get involved and say, stop
Stop it.
fighting.
Now you're
Matloro.
filming
Now
it.
it's who
You're
can
filming
get the
it.
first, who can put it out there.
There, yeah, that's so true.
So
yeah.
we've become a slave to this. So I personally feel fame is a curse. And we can dress it up as a blessing, but it's a very lonely place to be. Because I am famous, I have to do this. I cannot go and meet everybody. I cannot be accessible to everybody. I cannot do this.
Yeah.
It gets so lonely.
Yeah.
I have friends who are super famous.
Yeah.
And I sometimes sit with them and I can see the loneliness in them. So it's not something we should be promoting. You must be famous. No, you must be talentful. You must be talent. Your talent must speak.
For yourself. I know, I agree with you. But do you think it's a mindset of them that I don't want to go here, or I don't want to do this, or, I don't want to sit with so-and-so person. It's because I'm famous and,
This is part and parcel of maintaining your fame. You have no choice. If you become accessible
revoking access,
to everybody.
Yeah.
Let's take, I don't know, Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
Okay. If he comes accessible to everybody,
Yeah.
he's not famous anymore. Aam milta hai.
Yeah.
Amitabh Bachchan, if he becomes famous, Gippy Garewal becomes accessible,
Yeah.
Karan Aujla becomes accessible,
Yeah.
the charm is gone.
Absolutely.
But this is the price they are paying.
Yeah.
And it's very lonely at the top. I can assure you.
Yeah.
I am not even a drop in the ocean. But I go out. I was downstairs just now. You see me stop.
Yeah.
People gathered. They met me.
Yeah.
I feel honored. I feel blessed that I have that recognition. But when I see the superstars, the megastars,
Yeah.
then they have to maintain that status.
What's your guilty pleasure in Dubai?
The love and hospitality. The energy.
That's really your guilty pleasure?
That's a guilt. Honestly, it drags me to it. The energy the city has. It's so high. Everybody's out there. It's like how New York was 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Go. Let's make money. Let's make a move. Let's move. Buy, sell, do this. This is happening. Let's go here. Let's go there.
Yeah.
The energy is it's so high.
Yeah.
You want to be involved. Everything else was ready.
Even your golden visa, I believe, when
wow.
we were discussing it. Can you share your
Wow,
experience on the golden visa?
what an experience.
Yeah.
So I have this one guy.
Yeah.
What do they call him? PO?
The PR. PRO, yeah.
PRO.
Yeah.
PRO guys tell me, I'm going to sort this out for you. It's going to cost you X amount of
I
dirhams.
remember I was telling you as well,
Yeah,
like, let
yeah.
me walk you through it. It's
Yeah.
simple as that. And you were
So-
like, I'll do it. Yeah.
The PRO took me to the
The
office.
immigration office, yeah.
They didn't let the PRO in. They said, who's he? Is he your family? I said, no. And he said, what does he want? I said, he's my PRO. He's going to help me. No, you don't need help. They said, you speak English? I said, yes. You speak Punjabi? I said, yes. Which other language? I said, I speak a few languages. He goes, you only need one or two, and that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so I looked at my wife. My wife looked at me, and we just went, okay. So we said to the PRO, you need to, they're not letting you in.
Exactly. Yeah.
The process
Yeah.
didn't take us more than half an hour to get our golden visa.
I always encourage people, invest in real estate, get your golden visa. It's a very simple process. I've always said it. So, I remember we were having this talk and I was like, oh, it's a very simple process. And you were like, no, I think I'll take my PRO. And then you had the experience right there.
Yeah, I mean, the PRO is redundant. I mean, he couldn't help
Just
us
trying to
there.
make a small buck out of you.
And it's nice. Okay, fine. But
Yeah.
the system
Yeah.
is so transparent.
Yeah.
They're using AI to a next level.
Yeah.
The UAE is really using technology to its full extreme.
Yeah.
When this podcast goes out and it goes to people in England, they will actually appreciate what I'm saying, because the government does not have its finger on the pulse. It's not great anymore. It's just Britain.
Yeah.
The great business is gone. It's done. It's just Britain. There's nothing there for Britain to be great about today. It's falling apart. You land into Dubai. You go and buy a property in Dubai. You look at the furnishings. You look at the quality and the sustainability. Everything's available to your price point.
Yeah.
London was a great place to go and shop. People don't shop there no more. People go to London, catch a train, go to Paris, do the shopping, claim the tax back,
Yeah.
and come to London.
That's true, because they've even taken off. I mean, recent past, I think it happened right after COVID, where they stopped doing the VAT, and that's made a huge impact on the shopping, because there was a lot of people that were going here, going from the Middle East, shopping in Harrods or Selfridges or whatever that might be, and then getting tax back. That was the whole idea of going abroad and shopping, right? And now that whole experience is cut down. And you're right, as rightfully said, like you people, I did that myself. I did most of my shopping in Paris or, anywhere around Europe.
The West does not appreciate the Middle East. They do not appreciate the visitors that go from the Far East, that's including the Middle East, India, China, all of this region that go there and spend money. They don't appreciate it. And that's the problem.
So I remember when I was sitting with you a few months ago and we were having a discussion over dinner, and you said that the two most inevitable things in life is birth and death, right? What happens in between is purpose. Can you, elaborate and define a bit more on that?
So I can go by Sikhism, and I'm sure the same is in Islam.
Islam, yeah.
The day you are born,
Yeah.
at the same time, that's the time of your death is already determined when you're going to die.
Yeah.
So these two things are for sure.
Yeah.
And then it comes in England, they put tax. So that's another guaranteed. So birth, death, and tax. Yes.
You can't get rid
You can't get away from. Okay?
Yeah.
If you come to Dubai.
Yes, absolutely.
That's it.
We
So
don't
you-
pay tax
th-
here.
then-
Not on income, not on anything.
Then there's no tax.
Yeah.
So everything else after these two things
Yeah.
is, like I said, there's different schools of thought to this.
Yeah.
If you say my karmic, my astrological position is maine yehi karna tha,
Yeah.
that was going to happen. I'm sure that's the case.
Yeah.
Then if you look at some people in the West who don't understand astrology or anything of that nature, and they say, well, I have to get up and I've got to go and do X and I'm going to try, and I might not be successful in this, but I'll keep on trying. But ultimately, you will get to that point
Yeah.
of what's in your destiny. You will get to there.
We also have a casino opening.
We have a casino in Russell
in
Khaimah.
Russell Khaimah.
Al
I'm so
Marjan.
excited, actually.
Al Marjan, Russell
Al
Khaimah.
Yeah. Very
which is,
excited,
I went
very
to see it the
excited.
other day. I actually drove down to Al Marjan
Yeah.
because I couldn't believe what I was hearing. And the price points.
Yeah.
And I think we're not even at the tip of the iceberg at them price points. It's just a touching point.
Absolutely.
This casino they're building is twice the size of the one
Of the Wynn in Vegas.
in
yeah,
Vegas.
That's true.
And I couldn't
They're
believe this.
They're actually expecting over 8 million people to come through because they,
I think that's an underestimate. I think
Yeah.
that the game's going to change. And what
that's
I'm
why
seeing,
they're like encouraging a lot of people. Emar's there right now, Demax there. Everybody has their, towers coming up there, and it's surprisingly that the same day that they launch, they actually get sold out. There's really a scarcity on the units.
you see, people around the world don't understand this.
There's another thing I wanted to tell you is because, of course, like we've dealt together a lot. You've given me a lot of referrals. I've always said this: client will become your friend faster than a friend will become your client.
Yep.
And I guess you're one of the only people. I mean, from the circle that I know, who's actually been a client of me and also given me referrals. Why do you think that happens? Like,
Knowledge, your
Mm-hmm.
your transparency. You're very open that I'm not going to get a fee from that person. I'm going to charge you. I'm not going to charge you. I'm getting a fee from there.
Yeah.
You have no dog in the race kind of thing.
Yeah.
You're very transparent. Have a look at this project. Have a look at this. Your knowledge on your subject matter is very, very good. And when somebody comes here and you can educate them on the subject matter, you go in your car, you pick them up, you take them there, you take them out, you introduce them, you show them everywhere around Dubai. They get comfortable. And when they get comfortable, they will. I have some agents who are very, very, very pushy. Pushiness doesn't help. And this is probably a message to all agents. Don't stress out your buyers.
Yeah.
Your buyer, just give them that little bit of time. They will buy. But what happens is they just sometimes want to step back and think, and then they'll come back and they'll buy. But it's when you push them. And I can understand from your point of view, I'm not saying yours, Dax, but
In general,
from
yeah.
agents,
Yeah.
that stock is selling so quickly.
Yeah.
So you don't want your person to miss out.
miss
It's a
out,
it's a
yeah.
double-edged sword.
Yeah.
You know the stock's going to sell. This person
Double
doesn't know
entendre.
that. And you're saying, look, you big jayega.
Yeah.
Take it.
Yeah.
So it's just a balancing act.
Yeah.
But so the answer to is it's down to what you offer and your knowledge on product. Now, I know I've called you sometimes in the middle of the night and saying, what is the price in Jabal Ali?
Yeah.
What is the price per square foot in Russell Khaimah?
Yeah.
And you've given it to me,
Yeah.
right? So that's the skill set of a good agent. He knows his subject matter.
Again, I would really like to thank you for coming over. As I know, time is the most important thing to you. And I'm so grateful for you. And I'm so glad that you're here.